My favorite video game. The most expensive one I've ever played too.
Oh yeah.
This is my last day in Houston. Luckily, I've been able to hang out with my buddy Seth. Seth has this fucking crazy ass FD. Semi-peripheral port, fucking monster Borg Warner 9180 turbocharger. Looking to make some pretty decent power. The thing is the loudest motherfucking thing I've ever ridden in my entire life. And I've got Seth right here. Seth's the dude. Talks a lot of shit on the internet. He's all about fucking shit up. And you want to open the hood and so we can take a look inside?
Yeah. Now this car is it's stock body, looks clean, and you know, when people look at it or see it on the road, it just looks like a normal, regular FD. With the exception of the hole in the hood, and then when it starts, things change.
So what all do you have done? I mean, you've had this car for a while, a good amount of time.
3.5, 4 years.
3.5 years, and you said it's gone through a long history. So how did you get the car originally before you did all this stuff?
Well, it was funny because I knew nothing about the rotary motor or the platform at all, and I bought this car with the intent of V8 swapping it, and it had 50,000 on it when I picked it up on the twin turbos and had a secondary turbo problem. I got to playing with it though and just kind of fell in love with the rotary. I rode in a friend of mine's, or saw a friend of mine's with a single turbo once at the drag strip, and it just kind of sold me on that was what had to happen. So I started the process, and on my old stockport motor ended up with a 6266 single turbo kit that I ran for about a year and a half. I think it was somewhere in the low 400s.
Right.
Lost the coolant seal on a 23-year-old motor, to be fair.
Right.
And this happened, which was about a year and a half process. I was supposed to be doing a real quick in and out 1 month rebuild with a half bridge, and then things kind of snowballed out of control.
As they always do.
And so a year and a half later, after the water seal now, we're at the semi-peripheral port. It idles at about 2200. It is rather loud.
Yep.
The hood dump is just, it's not a permanent fixture, but it will always be available for when I need it.
Fair enough. Yeah, so we just went to Sevens Day Houston yesterday here, and we did the longest drive the car has ever seen. Drove 30 minutes to Houston, 100-degree weather. This thing is a hood exit, and I'm sitting in the passenger seat getting pelted by fucking gasoline when he lets off, like just pure heat, but busting me in the face. Like it was awful. I'll show some clips of it right here. This thing's crazy. It's a crazy car. Oddly enough, I was going to build something extremely similar, and after having ridden this car for the past day and a half, I'm so glad that I did not. You think that you want a loud car, you think you want a crazy car, then you ride in something like this, you go like, you have to be fucking batshit insane to fucking build something like this, and this car is fucking sick. I think you said it's a modified excessive manifold in the bottom right for the semi-peripheral port.
This is the excessive lower intake manifold. The peripheral port modification was done by Chip. The inside of it's absolutely gorgeous. It's actually bridged from both your primaries and your secondary runner to your peripheral ports, which makes your idle tuning a little interesting, but I think it'll flow a lot more up top.
Right. Defined AutoWorks V-mount intercooler setup, old school stuff. You can't find this anymore. You said back from a group buy back in the day.
Yeah, they did a bunch of group buys back in the day. I think they made 3 or 4 rounds of them, and then after a while they quit because they just said there was so much demand, and they were trying to build 3 rotors and 4 rotors and push that, and didn't want to be fabbing just fabbing intercooler kits anymore. But I wanted one, and so I just kept continually messaged them and harassed them until they finally agreed to like pull some extra stuff off the shelves and make me one. So
and then what are you running for ignition setup?
This is all kind of home done by me outside of obviously the coils, but I made the wires, and then this is just a bracket I picked up from a friend of mine that cast a handful of them, and then your little spacers here is just threaded rod, nuts and bolts, but it's the IGN 1A coils. They're wired in direct fire, and I'm running a ton of dwell. So
direct fire is how much? What type of RPM are you looking for there with direct fire?
Well, it's a little bit different because the coil manufacturing, the specs that come with the coils from AEM have certain recommendations as to how far and how hard you can push them, but the coil manufacturer of Pantera EFI, the person who actually designed the coil to start with, has a different set of recommendations as to what they'll really do. So I'll keep those to myself at this point. But
fair enough.
You can run them a lot harder than what they say.
Right.
I plan on them seeing 9,500 to 10,000 RPMs.
Yep. So like for a lot of people that don't understand, the FDs from the factory come with a wasted spark ignition system. So you're limited by RPM. That's why when you look at the RX7 and the FCs, you can wrap out FCs $9 grand if you really want to out the limiter. FDs, on the other hand, you're limited to 7,500 to 8,000 RPM. When you switch the car with a direct fire, you can actually rev the bitch out to as far as you want to. That's purely because of the ignition system. So he set up his coils in direct fire so he can get probably more reliable spark, more reliable runtime, and then as well be able to rev the bitch out because he's running a big port, and the big port's not going to see power until after that 7,000 RPM mark. Because if you've driven a street port car, you get a lot of low end torque, and you get some good top end power. When you go bridge port, it's not a level. When you go semi-peripheral port, it's a whole different other beast. Like when you haven't taken over $6 grand yet, I believe. Is that right?
No, we're still in the process of tuning it. I've only had the car running for about a month, and the first 2 weeks was just sorting out all the mechanical issues that come with a rebuild where you completely rip the motor out of the car and tear everything apart and take every fuel line out and every line out and put it all back in, wire it all back in. It's there. You can't just throw it in and start it and be ready. So, about first 2 weeks we're just sorting out all the little detailed stuff and wrapping up all the wiring and getting everything the way that I really wanted it to be. And then I decided to upgrade ECUs. I moved from the Haltech Platinum Sport 1000 to the new Elite 2500.
Yep.
Created a fresh base map, got it up and running right away, and I probably have about 20 to 30 minutes of seat time in the street seat time in the tune. We haven't seen dyno action yet. Everything has been tuned. All of the tuning's been done right up and down through here. And
your neighborhood not too fond of the car, from what I understand.
No, they're not. I was offended. That's a different story.
Yep.
Well, but all in all, the new ECU is absolutely great. I feel like with a little bit more time, I'll be able to really dial it in and turn the boost up. Plan is for 30 psi. I've got it tuned roughly to about 10 now. My big goal was to get it ready for the event we went to yesterday, and be able to make it out there, and it ran perfect. I've been sitting in traffic, bumper to bumper traffic, chopping at 2200 in the rain with the hood dump. We were sitting there, I think max temps we saw was like 190.
190, 191 max.
First big long drive after a solid rebuild with everything done on a rough, 20-minute tune. Went perfect. So good things are going to come. We'll soon be turning it up and hitting the ethanol probably next week.
Give you guys like a quick little start up and idle video so you guys can hear it. I'll show you some footage of us driving around from earlier. And we can't start off for too long, obviously, because we don't want to disrespect the neighbors. It is the middle of the day, though.
I'm not worried about disrespecting them. I'm worried about getting fined.
This is an HOA neighborhood, but we're going to start up real quick and then just give you a quick little idle clip and then let you guys go. Thanks for tuning in to the Rotors Magazine. If you like this video, subscribe, and here we go. is so goddamn loud. Let's see how long we can hear it. Just brapping around.